Hook Point: How to Stand Out in a 3-Second World by Brendan Kane. Introduction: The 3-second battle for attention. Ever feel like you're shouting into the void? Like your message, your product, your very essence is getting lost in an overwhelming sea of digital noise? You spend hours, maybe even days, crafting the perfect post, the ideal presentation, the groundbreaking business idea, only to see it flicker and fade, unnoticed. It's frustrating, isn't it? To have so much to offer, yet struggle to capture even a sliver of attention in a world that moves at lightning speed. Think about it. Experts say we scroll through hundreds of feet of content daily. We're bombarded with up to 10,000 ads a day. And on social media, a single minute can see hundreds of thousands of new posts. In this whirlwind, how long do you think you have to make an impression? 3 seconds, that's it. 3 seconds to stop the scroll, to make someone lean in, to spark that initial curiosity. What if I told you there's a way to not just survive this 3-second world, but to conquer it? To craft messages so compelling they act like a magnet, drawing people in and making them want to hear more? In this audiobook summary, we're diving deep into Brendan Kane's Hook Point: How to Stand Out in a 3-Second World. We'll explore how to develop your own secret weapon, the hook point, a method to grab attention instantly, both online and off, so you can win those precious next few seconds to convey your true value. We'll uncover how to cut through the clutter, build a powerful brand, and ultimately make the impact you're destined to make. So, who is Brendan Kane? He's not just an author, he's a digital and business strategist who has worked with Fortune 500 companies, A-list celebrities like Taylor Swift and Rihanna, and major brands including Disney and Netflix. He famously demonstrated his understanding of the digital landscape by gaining 1 million social media followers in over 100 countries in less than 30 days, a feat he detailed in his best-selling book, 1 Million Followers. This isn't just theory. Kane lives and breathes this stuff. His work, including Hook Point, provides a practical, battle-tested roadmap for anyone feeling ignored, helping them amplify their voice and make a real difference. This book isn't just another marketing guide. It's a masterclass in capturing attention in an age where attention is the most valuable currency. Are you ready to discover how to make every second count? Let's begin. What exactly is this secret weapon called a hook point? Imagine you're at a bustling market, vendors shouting, colors flashing, 1,000 distractions. Suddenly, one stall catches your eye. Maybe it's a single, perfectly ripe fruit, an unusual sign, or the vendor's captivating call. That, in essence, is a hook point. Brendan Kane defines a hook point as something that can be text, like a killer headline or a catchy phrase. It can be an insight, a surprising statistic, or a profound thought. It could be a unique concept, a striking image, a captivating personality, or even the product itself. The sole purpose? To grab an audience's attention in the shortest time possible, ideally 3 seconds or less, especially in the digital realm. Now, you might be thinking, is this just a fancy term for a good advertisement? Not quite. While most great advertising starts with a solid hook point, a hook point is more foundational. It's designed to make people lean in, to get them interested in learning more about your content, your business, your idea. It's the key that unlocks the door to further communication. Consider the legendary Gary Halbert's perfume campaign for Tova Borgnine. The headline was, "Tova Borgnine swears under oath that her new perfume does not contain an illegal sexual stimulant." Talk about a hook. It tapped into a fundamental human desire to attract and took it to an extreme. The result? Thousands showed up and sales skyrocketed. That's the power of a well-crafted hook point. Or think about Timberland boots. An ad used the dramatic hook. Your eyes are frozen. Your skin has turned black. You're technically dead. Let's talk boots. Instantly, it captured the attention of anyone engaging in outdoor activities who feared the cold. The drama itself conveyed the message even before reading the rest. But here's a crucial distinction. A hook point is not clickbait. Clickbait captures attention, but often lacks substance, leaving you feeling tricked. A true hook point, as Kane emphasizes, is always tied to an authentic and compelling story that provides value and builds trust. It's about being intriguing, not deceptive. Think about Netflix. Their initial hook point? No late fees. This was also their unique selling proposition, USP at the time, directly addressing a major pain point for blockbuster customers. It was simple, powerful, and it worked. It got people in the door. Later, their original content, House of Cards, Stranger Things, became new hook points, keeping us engaged. This brings us to an interesting question. Is a hook point the same as a USP, a tagline, or a mission statement? Kane says, sometimes. If your USP or tagline is attention-grabbing enough, it can be your hook point. But often, they are different. Nike's tagline is, "Just do it," and their shoes are their USP. But their hook points? Those are the athletes they sponsor. LeBron James, Serena Williams, or controversies like their Vaporfly running shoes potentially being banned from the Olympics because they make runners too efficient. These are the elements that grab immediate attention and pull you into Nike's world, where you then encounter their tagline and products. The takeaway here? A hook point is your initial handshake, your attention grabber. It's what makes someone pause in this 3-second world and give you a chance. It's the sharpest tool in your arsenal to cut through the noise and earn the right to tell your story. Interesting, right? The digital deluge. Why hook points are more crucial than ever. Let's paint a picture of the world we're operating in. Every single day, over 60 billion messages are sent out on digital platforms. That's not a typo, 60 billion. The average person scrolls through 300 feet of content daily. Think about that. The height of the Statue of Liberty in your social media feed every day. Every 60 seconds on Facebook alone. 400 new users join, 317,000 status updates are posted, and 147,000 photos are uploaded. Instagram sees 95 million photos and videos shared daily. YouTube has over 500 hours of content uploaded every minute. It's an avalanche of information, a constant bombardment of stimuli. What does this do to us? It shortens our attention spans, or rather, it makes us incredibly selective about where we place our attention. We have to be. Otherwise, our brains would overload. This is the micro-attention world Kane talks about. Latham Arneson, former VP of Digital Marketing at Paramount Pictures, points out that before social media, there were fewer sources vying for our attention. Now marketers have to compete harder than ever because there's just so much more distraction. And it's not just more content, it's often better content, adds Eric Brownstein from Shareability. You're competing with professionally produced viral videos, every movie ever made available on streaming, and endless high-quality TV. This is why Facebook started counting video views at 3 seconds. Advertisers were frustrated paying for views when people were just scrolling past. 3 seconds, Facebook argues, indicates intent to watch. Whether you agree with that metric or not, it shapes how content is made and consumed. The algorithms on these platforms are designed to push content that grabs and holds attention. And if most videos don't even make it past that 3-second mark, the ones that do are prioritized. So, what happens if you can't capture attention in those first few critical seconds? You lose. You don't get to share your story, your product, or your service. Your amazing idea remains unheard. This is why Kane emphasizes that developing hook points isn't just a good idea. It's a fundamental skill for survival and success in the modern world. It's about earning the next 10, 30, or 60 seconds to convey your message. Think about Blockbuster. They were Goliath, Netflix was David. Blockbuster failed because they didn't innovate their hooks. They tried to copy Netflix's no late fees, but missed the bigger hooks. original content, and binge-watching. Blockbuster, once valued at $8.4 billion, filed for bankruptcy. Netflix, with its powerful, evolving hook points, thrived. The challenge is clear. In a world overflowing with messages, how do you make yours the one that sticks? How do you become the signal amidst the noise? That's where mastering hook points becomes your superpower. Unearthing your perfect hook. Strategies that work. So how do you actually create these magnetic hook points? Kane suggests starting by thinking about your audience. What are their deepest desires, their most pressing pain points? What outcome are they seeking that they haven't found yet? Kane's own hook point, 0 to 1 million followers in 30 days, taps directly into a widespread desire. Building a massive social following quickly. It's bold, specific, and addresses a clear need. Notice, he doesn't say, "I'll help you grow on social media." That's generic. The specificity is key. Let's look at some diverse examples. The movie Free Solo had a simple, terrifying hook point. A man climbing a 900-meter vertical rock face without ropes. The without ropes part is crucial. It taps into a primal fear and curiosity, drawing in even those who know nothing about rock climbing. Tom's shoes started with 1-for-1 R. For every product purchased, Tom's helps a person in need. This wasn't just a shoe company, it was a movement. A way for consumers to participate in a larger mission. And what about Tesla's Cybertruck? It looks like nothing else on the road. Love it or hate it, its radical design is an instant hook point, challenging a century of pickup truck aesthetics and promising superior utility at an affordable price. It generated over 250,000 pre-orders almost immediately. Now, here's a powerful technique Kane highlights: subverting expectations. This involves taking commonly held beliefs or phrases and flipping them on their head to make people think differently. For instance, Kane used "warning, safety is dangerous" for a social video. It challenges the conventional wisdom and piques interest. Or, meditation is a scam. As a meditator himself, he uses this to grab attention before explaining the nuances and misinformation surrounding the practice. The goal isn't to trick, but to engage an audience on a familiar topic from a fresh angle. Gary Vaynerchuk is a master of this. When asked for 3 words of inspiration, he replied, "You're gonna die." Unexpected, jarring, and far more memorable than work hard. Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Workweek is another classic. Who doesn't want to work less and live more? The concept itself isn't entirely new, but the specific, provocative title is a brilliant hook point that made the book a bestseller. Ferriss even A/B tested titles, and The 4-Hour Workweek beat options like How to Live Like a Drug Lord. Specificity and a clear lifestyle promise won. And how about The Sleep Doctor, Michael Bruce? It's simple, clear, and instantly communicates his expertise. It became his brand, securing him numerous media appearances. A key takeaway from these examples? You need something story-worthy, different, concise, impactful, and true. You want to leave your audience wanting more. And remember, what works for one might not work for another. The legendary copywriter Eugene Schwartz advised entering the conversation prospects are already having in their own minds. What keeps them up at night? If you can describe their problem better than they can, they'll subconsciously believe you have the solution. Ready to brainstorm some of your own? The Art of the Hook, Kane's 5-step creation process. Creating effective hook points isn't just about a flash of brilliance, it's a process. Kane lays out a practical, 5-step framework to help you systematically develop and refine your hooks. This is where the rubber meets the road. Step 1. Study what works. Don't reinvent the wheel entirely. Look at successful brands, book titles, social content headlines, and ad campaigns. Create a list. Then, take those successful hooks and try replacing their offers or services with your own. This isn't about copying. It's about understanding the structure of what grabs attention and practicing your craft. Step 2. Learn from what doesn't work. Just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. Research underperforming hook points. Look at social media videos with low views, Amazon listings with few reviews, or failed company ad campaigns. Why are they ineffective? Are they too wordy, confusing, vague, overused, or inauthentic? Analyzing failures can be incredibly illuminating. Step 3. Create your own. Now it's your turn. Imagine your hook point is on the cover of a major magazine. It needs to sell copies and attract customers amidst dozens of other options. What headline would make someone stop, buy, and read? Or, if it's for a social media video, what opening would make someone pause their endless scroll for more than 3 seconds? Generate as many ideas as possible, especially out-of-the-box ones. Push your creative limits, then narrow them down to your top 3. Repeat this process. Create, narrow, repeat. Step 4. Compare your hook points. Take your best original hooks from Step 3 and compare them against the successful ones you identified in Step 1. Rank them. Are your creations outperforming the established winners? If not, revise and refine until they do. This rigorous comparison pushes you to be better. Step 5. Test, reiterate, and repeat. Once you have strong contenders, get feedback. Show them to friends, colleagues, or your target audience. And crucially, A/B test them on social media, with your email list, or on search engine ad platforms. Kane emphasizes that even the most experienced marketers create hooks that fail. Testing is essential to discover what truly resonates. Don't expect immediate success. The key is to continually modify, repeat, and improve. And here are some quick guidelines for what makes a great hook point, according to Kane. Use as few words as possible. Think magazine cover. Be true to your brand. Make people think differently. Subvert expectations. Be simple to understand, but not so simple it's ignored. Spark curiosity. Leave them wanting more. Be original. Be graspable in 3 seconds max. Offer a solution to your audience's pain points. This structured approach demystifies the creative process and turns hook creation into a skill you can develop and master. How might you apply these steps to your own message today? Beyond the hook, authenticity, storytelling, and value. All right, so you've got a killer hook point. You've grabbed their attention. Now what? This is where the deeper work begins, because a hook without substance is just a fleeting distraction. Kane stresses that authenticity, compelling storytelling, and genuine value are what hold that attention and build lasting relationships. Authenticity is your anchor. Whitney Wolfe, founder of the dating app Bumble, didn't just create an app. She launched a mission to empower women to make the first move. Her authentic desire to change dating dynamics was her why, and it resonated deeply, helping Bumble succeed in a crowded market. Simon Sinek's famous concept, "Start with why," is central here. Why does your company exist beyond making money? Why should anyone care? Apple doesn't just sell computers, they challenge the status quo and believe in thinking differently. That belief is infused in everything they do, but beware of inauthenticity. Kane points to Gillette's "We Believe" commercial, addressing toxic masculinity. While the message was positive, many felt Gillette, a brand historically focused on razors, hadn't earned the right to enter that conversation, unlike Nike, whose brand has long been associated with taking stands, like the Colin Kaepernick campaign. Your hook points and stories must align with your brand's core identity. Storytelling is your bridge. Once you have their attention, you need a story that connects, and often, your brand shouldn't be the hero of that story. Eric Brownstein of Shareability explains that in their work for Adobe helping Hurricane Harvey victims restore photos, the victims and students were the heroes. Adobe was the stage. Red Bull does the same with extreme athletes. The athletes are the stars. Red Bull provides the platform. This builds trust and makes the brand more relatable. And how do you ensure your story resonates with everyone? Jeff King, an expert in the process communication model, PCM, explains that people perceive the world through different currencies: logic, thinkers; opinions, values, persisters; emotions, harmonizers; imagination, imaginers; reactions, humor, rebels; and actions, charm, promoters. Pixar movies, King notes, often include characters and messages that speak to all 6 types, which is part of their universal appeal. Bill Clinton masterfully used this in his political communication, connecting with a woman during a debate by speaking to her feeling-based concerns, a stark contrast to his opponent. Think about how your story can incorporate these different languages to broaden its appeal. Value is your promise kept. Ultimately, people stay because you provide value. Gary Vaynerchuk has built an empire by giving away immense value for free. Detailed content strategies, endless advice. This builds trust and makes people want to engage with his paid offerings. Think of it like free samples at a store. You prove your worth by letting people experience it. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor, offers his presentation slides and even free consultations to media members, which often leads to more opportunities and clients because he's genuinely helping. Jay Shetty, whose videos have garnered billions of views, says content goes viral when it makes people feel adventure, comedy, emotion, inspiration, or surprise. His most successful videos stem from real-life experiences, are backed by science, and use poetic, simple language. The message is clear. A hook point opens the door, but authenticity, storytelling that connects, and undeniable value are what invite people in and make them want to stay. How can you weave these elements more deeply into your own message? Scaling your impact, from hook to household name. You've crafted your hook point. You're telling authentic stories and delivering value. Now, how do you get your message in front of more of the right people? How do you scale? Kane offers several powerful strategies. Go where the traffic already exists. Don't try to build an audience from scratch if you don't have to. YouTube famously scaled by leveraging MySpace's existing traffic before MySpace had its own video player. Users embedded YouTube videos on their MySpace profiles, driving massive traffic back to YouTube. Kane himself used this principle when he started working with film bloggers for Lakeshore Entertainment, giving them exclusive access and party sponsorships to promote movies, tapping into their dedicated audiences. Think about your industry. Where are the existing hubs of attention? How can you provide value to tap into them? Leverage superconnectors and referrals. A superconnector is someone well connected to the people you want to reach. For Kane, an MTV executive became a superconnector, opening doors to Taylor Swift and others. For John Kilcullen of the Four Dummies series, literary agent Bill Gladstone, who had access to great writers, was a key superconnector. Referrals are gold. Peter Park, trainer to stars like Elon Musk and Lance Armstrong, gets almost all his clients via word of mouth from trusted sources like top doctors. When a respected doctor says, "Peter's the best," that trust transfers. Deliver exceptional results, and your current clients become your best advocates. Combine online and offline efforts for a snowball effect. Kane's journey is a prime example. His online feat of gaining 1 million followers became an offline hook point, leading to a book deal. The book, Offline, fueled online sales and speaking engagements, offline. Speaking led to podcast appearances, online, which led to media spots, offline and online, each step amplifying the next. This can work in reverse too. Michael Bruce built a huge offline brand through TV appearances. Kane is helping him take that offline credibility and those established hook points, like when's the best time for sex before sleep, to build a massive online audience and email list. Think about how your online presence can fuel offline opportunities, and vice versa. Are you leveraging your social credibility to get speaking gigs or partnerships? Are you taking your offline successes and using them to build your online platform? The constant evolution. Your hook point is dead. Long live the hook point. Here's a critical truth. Even your most successful hook point will eventually lose its power. This is hook fatigue. Why? First, imitation. If your hook is brilliant, others will copy it, diluting its uniqueness, like the Tom's one-for-one model. Second, familiarity. Audiences simply get used to it. Disney knows this. That's why they continuously invest billions in new attractions like Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge, to keep people coming back. This means the hook point creation process is not a one-time task. It's ongoing. You must be willing to revise, test, and innovate continually. What works today might not work next month. However, as Nate Morley, brand strategist for companies like Chatbooks, emphasizes, as you evolve your hooks, ensure your core brand identity, your who we are, remains solid. Chatbooks evolved its messaging from print $6 photo books, what they do, to hold on to what matters, and strengthening families, who they are and why they exist. This deeper identity provides stability as specific hooks change. The journey to standing out is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires endurance, a willingness to learn, and the courage to constantly adapt. Your final challenge: action and reflection. We've journeyed through the core of Brendan Kane's hook point, from understanding the 3-second battleground to crafting irresistible hooks, building authenticity, telling powerful stories, delivering value, and scaling your impact. We've seen how even the best hooks need to evolve. Now, it's time for you to take these insights and weave them into the fabric of your own mission. I have a few questions for you to help solidify what we've learned and to spark your next steps. Think of this as your personal strategy session. Ready? First, what is the single biggest challenge you face right now in getting your message heard? And based on what we've discussed, what's one immediate type of hook point? A surprising insight, a subverted expectation, a solution to a pain point. You could experiment with this week. Second, reflect on your why. Beyond the product or service, what is the core belief or purpose that drives you? How can you make that why more visible in your initial communications, ensuring your hooks are authentic? Third, consider the 5-step hook point creation process. Which step do you anticipate being the most challenging for you, and what's one small action you can take to begin mastering it? Fourth, who are the potential super connectors in your world? And what unique value could you offer them to start building a mutually beneficial relationship? And finally, your hook point is dead. Long live the hook point. How will you build a system for continually testing, learning, and evolving your hooks to stay relevant and impactful in this ever-changing landscape? These aren't just rhetorical questions. They are prompts for action. The principles in hook point are powerful, but only if you apply them. This audiobook summary has given you the map, but you are the explorer. The 3-second world awaits, and it's more receptive to powerful, authentic messages than you might think. Don't let this be just another interesting listen. Take one idea, one strategy, one question from our time together and put it into practice today. Start small, test often, and never stop learning. If this summary has ignited a spark, I wholeheartedly encourage you to dive into the full experience by reading Brendan Kane's Hook Point: How to Stand Out in a 3-Second World. There's a wealth of further examples, detailed strategies, and nuances that can only be found in the complete work. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Now go out there and make your mark. Create your hook point, tell your story, and change the world 3 seconds at a time.